Here now to weigh in is Liz Peek, FoxNews.com columnist, and Daniel Turner, Power of the Future director. Great to see both of you. We got the conversation on energy started with Steve Forbes, but I want to keep it going here. Daniel, first to you on the Ford Motor Company layoffs. Green is supposed to mean jobs, but it's meaning cuts in the thousands right now at one of America's biggest car companies. Daniel, your reaction to that?
Well, I mean, we've been hearing about green jobs since the Obama administration promised them. So to have the Biden administration promising green jobs is nothing new. It's also nothing new for these individuals to think that somehow they can create jobs. Somehow Washington, D.C. is able to create jobs. And that's not how we all know it works. Simultaneously, members of the Biden administration, in particular Gina McCarthy, is celebrating the fact that fossil fuel jobs are down. She was speaking at the Aspen Ideas Institute, and she was proud of the fact that we're laying off fossil fuel workers. So that's not great news if you worked on Keystone Pipeline. It's not great news if you work in the oil and gas industry. Those are real jobs, and the Biden administration is crushing them.
And it's not good for anyone who depends on those jobs, depends on those industries. Liz, earlier this week, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, he's been in a lot of hot water. He said rising gas prices are beneficial for electric vehicle owners, but now he's changed his tune, tweeting this yesterday, quote, "Good morning. Gas prices are going down." Liz, what does Pete Buttigieg really think here? I think I know, but he seems to want to have it both ways.
Well, look, he's just sort of an elite liberal ideologue who's out of touch with actual people. I mean, yes, he wants it both ways. He wants everyone to buy an EV, even though they're extremely expensive. And he wants everybody also to celebrate gasoline prices going down. You can't have it both ways. And their policies are kind of mixed up and confused, just like Pete Buttigieg. When Biden talks about green jobs, I'll tell you where the green jobs are. They're in China. That's where we're making most of the solar panels that people are putting in place around the world. That's where lithium batteries are being made. That's where lithium is being mined. We have no serious plan to create green jobs in this country. And when we do try to tackle some of these issues, like starting a lithium mine, it's shut down by who? By the environmentalists. So, I mean, honestly, we're just so completely off track here, and it's really sad. They should be backing nuclear power. They should be backing natural gas. That's how we're bringing emissions down, and will do in the future.
Daniel, you saw the president today in his brief remarks to his economic team talking about gas prices and energy, and he is just browbeating the energy industry, the oil and gas companies in America. Charge lower prices, refine more product, use your leases. As somebody who's in that industry and understands how those processes work, that's got to drive you nuts because it's completely missing the reality of what it means to actually build energy infrastructure in this country, Daniel.
It really does, and I appreciate you mentioning that. You know, Biden had the chance, and as president, he has multiple chances. He had the chance just a few weeks ago to sit down with energy CEOs, and he declined it. He sent a cabinet secretary instead, right? He doesn't want to go to Texas. He'll go to the Saudis, of course, and ask them. He doesn't want to look at refineries. He doesn't want to go on any rigs. He doesn't want to talk to us about what we need. And as you just mentioned in your last segment with Steve Forbes, if these are 5-year projections to start drilling for oil, but you know this industry, this administration is going to punish you every step of the way. And if he understood what it took to extract oil and gas from the ground, he would understand why investment is drying up. So he just would rather stick his head in the sand and go ask the Saudis and the Iranians for oil instead.
Liz, I want to come back to something I asked Steve Forbes about. I think you'd have an interesting take on this as well. It's fascinating to me to watch as we get ready to get the second quarter GDP numbers and find out where this economy really stands. Fascinating to me to see the president's advisors out there trying to message the meaning of a recession. In your mind, does that mean they are preparing for a very bad result and a very clear indication that this economy is in trouble?
Well, we know that it's in trouble. We know that manufacturing is trending down. We know, by the way, that layoffs are accelerating. For many months, we had absolutely a tightest job market on earth, and now all of a sudden that's turned around. A lot of big companies have announced layoffs. They're going to get a bad read on the second quarter. It's almost likely It is very likely, I think, to be negative, which indeed will satisfy the requirements of a recession. But they can't admit that anything that they have done contributed to that recession. And they're still touting, astonishingly, the economic agenda that presumably has led to job gains. Everything they say about the economy, Brian, is completely wrong and dishonest. I mean, it's really very dispiriting. You know, it's not true that the economy was in trouble when Biden took office. It was actually growing at 6%. Jobs were accelerating and coming back. None of it is true.
Well, you got to start with the facts. And the facts are the numbers we get and the reality we see at the store and the reality we see at the pump. And dispiriting is such a good word, because when the administration won't level with the facts, it causes the rest of America to say, what's really going on here? We've got to leave it there. Daniel and Liz, always great to see you. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you
so much.